All right, hello everybody. Good evening, good morning from Calgary here, and thank you all for joining me today for this webinar on why you should choose the University of Calgary. I am Carly, and I'm the Student Recruitment Advisor supporting students from China, Japan, and Korea and Mongolia. But if you are from a different country, welcome you all, and thank you for joining me today despite the weird time zones. Today, I have Alexis with me, who is a colleague, also another international recruiter supporting me in the chat box. So if you have any questions throughout this webinar, do feel free to utilize the chat function and to just send some questions to Alexis. I should be happy to answer any questions that you may have, or you can also wait until the end of the webinar and I'll be also addressing some of the questions you have as well. So today, I'm just excited to share some information about the University of Calgary and what kind of opportunities are present here for students like you and what studying here could really look like. But before I begin, I realize I already started talking, but I just want to start a quick poll just to see whether you could all see and hear me. So for those that are currently here, just sending a quick yes or no just to help me see whether there's any difficulties in terms of technology. Awesome. Seems like you can all see and hear me, so we shouldn't have any problems here. Cool. Let's just continue on here. To begin, I did want to provide my contact form for you and I to stay connected. So I would encourage all of you to have a scan of the QR code and fill in all your information. And this would help me keep an eye on your application should you apply. And it will also help me kind of share some updated information about the institution and any recent news with you, just to help you along the way as well. So this would be a great opportunity for us to stay connected and for me to relay any resources that could help you in kickstarting your journey at the University of Calgary. But first, I wanted to start with just an overview about our amazing country, Canada. Many of you may have definitely heard of Canada before, as we are the second largest country in the whole world. But I do want to highlight that Canada is ranked #1 in the whole world in terms of quality of life, and our reputation for being safe, stable, friendly, as well as multicultural are some of the many reasons why international students, such as all of you, decide to come to Canada to study, as well as decide to stay in Canada after graduating. I would like to highlight that Canada is very flexible as well in terms of working. As a full-time student on a valid study permit, you can work up to 20 hours per week off campus, and there are also many opportunities for you to work on campus as well. But not only that, after you graduate, you will be able to apply for an open work permit to stay in Canada for 3 years after graduating. Now, these 3 years, you can move anywhere within the country. You do not actually have to stay within the city that you graduated from, and you can gain some work opportunity within the country or just become more familiar with the Canadian lifestyle. So definitely there's a lot of opportunities here in Canada for international students. It's a wonderful country that I grew up in and was born in as well. Okay. Well, then Canada, as you all know, country is huge. There is a lot of provinces as well as a lot of territories. Now within Canada is a province called Alberta, where our university is located in, as well as our city. As you can see, Alberta is really close with nature. We are home to the beautiful Rocky Mountains, such as the picture that you see on the slide there. But I want to highlight that Alberta's cost of living is also relatively cheaper compared to other provinces within the country. And this is due to having no provincial sales tax, as well as having one of the highest minimum wages in all of the country. As a result, as a student, if you are deciding to maybe work part-time or maybe after graduating, you decide to work in Canada for a little bit, Alberta would be a great place to locate in because you'll get more value for your money. Now, within Alberta, just to get a little bit more specific here, is the exciting city of Calgary. Calgary is also home to our university, and my favorite part of Calgary has to be the fact that we are Canada's sunniest major city with 333 sunny days per year. But not only that, you can see that Calgary is a very beautiful city with bright blue skies, and these blue skies that stay 333 days in the year. So even if it is really cold outside, even if it is in the middle of winter, you can still expect to see all of these beautiful weather here, which is really beneficial as it will allow you to become more energized and more ready to embark on new adventures, either out in the city or 1 hour away in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. There are definitely a lot of outdoor activities you could participate in within the city, such as rafting down the Bow River that you see a picture of. The Bow River is just on the bottom there, or biking along our bikeway network, which is the most extensive pathway in all of North America. So definitely there are lots for you to do in Calgary, but if you do want to head over to the Rocky Mountains just 1 hour away, our cities is also very close to Banff, Lake Louise, and also a lot of amazing destinations as well. But I do want to highlight that if you're not familiar with Calgary, it's definitely a city to remember, as we're the 5th most livable city in the whole world and #1 in North America. We have a lot of opportunities for students like you, graduates, as well as a lot of professionals within industries as well. And this is due to having a lot of employment opportunities. We do have the highest concentration of high-tech workers in all of the country, and we are #2 in Canada for having the most small businesses. What this really means is that we really value Calgarians and people within the city starting something for themselves, starting something new. We are a young, vibrant, and ever-growing city, and we do value growth for the people within the city as well. But to get a little bit more specific here, all of you might be the most curious about the University of Calgary. And on this slide is an aerial view of our main university campus. So university campus is definitely very large, but just to put things into perspective, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to get from the residence building just on the top of the map there, all the way to the transit station on the far left. Depending on how fast you walk, it could take you closer to 10 minutes. It could take you a little bit more than 15, but there's definitely an amazing sense of outdoor on campus, and it will feel like you are walking through a park if you're deciding to walk outside. But during those colder months, you don't have to worry, as a lot of our buildings are connected through indoor tunnels and bridges, and this would help shield you from the winter cold air or the snow, especially if you're worried about how cold it can get within the city. As you can see, there are a lot of amazing buildings on campus. Olympic Oval, which is home to our Olympic-sized skating rink, as well as the fastest ice in the world due to a lot of records being broken there. And around campus as well, there's a lot of areas that you can venture off to by being near the area, such as the Market Mall, which a lot of our students do spend their time at after classes, but there's also a lot of cafes and a lot of restaurants around campus as well. I like to highlight that as a student, you will gain access to your UPass, which is a little sticker on your university card, and you can carry your university card around with you to have unlimited use of the transit system here on the city, as your school fees will pay for the transit pass. It is super beneficial beneficial as our campus is only located about 15 minutes from downtown. So you can hop onto the university train station and get downtown really quickly and really efficiently as well, without having to buy any tickets or any monthly passes, as you will only need to carry your university card with you. Now, one building that I do want to highlight on our campus is a Taylor Family Digital Library, just kind of in the middle of the map there. This library is our main library on campus, and it is also the most technological library in all of North America. This library, I graduated from University of Calgary, and I spent a lot of my time as a student here in this library, whether it was participating in meetings, conducting in meetings, studying by myself or with friends, as there's a lot of amazing technologies for students like you to utilize in this building. And one interesting fact about this building is that each floor gets quieter and quieter to kind of accommodate to your study needs. If you are the type that really likes background sound and studying with friends and kind of having a little bit of chatter while studying, we have the first, second, and third floor for you to study with friends. But if you're a type to really thrive in really quiet surroundings, the 4, 5, and 6th floor is perfect environment for you to do so. So definitely a lot of options for you depending on what your study habits are. But in terms of students, University of Calgary has over 28,000 undergraduate students, and 10% of those students are actually international students. So not only will you be able to meet students from Calgary or from different countries, different cities within the country, you'll be able to meet a lot of different students from different countries all around the world. And this comes to show that our campus is very diverse, as we do have a lot of different countries represented here on campus. In fact, we have over 155 different countries. So you'll definitely be able to meet a lot of different students throughout your studies here. Not only that, but studying at the University of Calgary means studying at the 6th top research university in Canada, and as well as a top entrepreneurial university. We have an abundance of sponsorship funding that goes towards financing various research areas. And a lot of our professors are experts within the respective research topics as well. So you can be guaranteed that you are learning directly from professors who are consistently researching the topic and bringing fresh ideas as well. But not only this, as a top entrepreneurial university, we have had over 390 new innovations since 2017. And we are constantly encouraging students and staff members and faculty members to really start something of their own here on campus. And we have many resources for you to do so. And part of this is that we have an entire center that is dedicated to bringing ideas into life. And it's called a Hunter Hub of entrepreneurial thinking. And with that, we do encourage students to kind of seek out great unknowns and to discover something unique to themselves and to kind of unleash their potential here on campus. Just to get more specific into some individual topics here, I want to first introduce residence and living on campus. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to become more familiar with the campus. And as a first-year student, it will be very beneficial, as it would kind of give you a head start in meeting new students, as well as becoming more familiar with where your classes are, kind of what their new environment could look like. I want to highlight that if you apply by the May 1st deadline of the first and second year of your studies, you will actually be guaranteed residence for the first 2 years of your studies here on campus. So you'll be able to have a room to call your home away from home. And it will also just guarantee your spot on campus, so you don't have to worry about finding a place if rooms fill up or stress about residence later on. But if, as a first-year student, if you apply to live on campus, you will be required to sign up for the meal plan, but you'll be able to choose between a 5-day or a 7-day unlimited swipe plan. And with that, you'll be having a lot of your meals at this dining center that you see a picture of on the slide there. And how it really works is you will swipe your university card, walk in, and our dining center is sort of like a buffet style where you can grab a plate, look around you, see what you want to eat, and it's really convenient and really easy. As a student, I did not live on campus as I lived inside the city, but I spent a lot of my meal times, had a lot of my meals over at the dining center because of how quick it was and how easy it was. I myself, I am very indecisive. I never know what I want to eat, or I seem to want to eat everything. And because of that, the dining center was super beneficial as I can get maybe a slice of pizza here, maybe a muffin there. So definitely a lot of options. And living on campus is incredibly convenient as you'll be able to wake up just 5 minutes before classes. But outside of meeting students from residence or from attending classes, we also have over 300 different school clubs for you to join to meet other students that share the same passions, backgrounds, or interests as you in order to help you create lifelong memories as well as relationships and friendships that will extend beyond your time here with us. These clubs can range from range from hobbies such as hiking, photography, skiing, snowboarding, all the way to interest areas such as K-pop, anime, and even League of Legends. And we also have a lot of clubs for coffee, tea, and even a sandwich club as well. So definitely, if there is something that you're interested in, there is a high chance that we have that club on campus for you. But if not, we also encourage students to create a club of their own. But outside of all of this, clubs are also a great way for you to develop yourself, as within these various clubs, there's a lot of different positions you can take on, such as vice president of marketing, vice president of engagement, president of the club, or just a participant or a member. So definitely a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different roles you can try to take on, and these will help add experience during a university, a career here, and also help you in kind of promoting yourself on your resume, as it can show the different roles and different positions you have take on throughout your studies and how you challenge yourself. So school clubs is a part of the university experience that I really encourage students to look into, because I myself, there was not a single year where I did not participate in a school club. And I can say that a lot of the friendships and relationships that I have to this day stemmed from joining school clubs. So definitely something I would encourage you all to really look into, as it can really maximize your university experience. But not only that, if you are interested in competitive sports and maybe you are part of some national teams right now in maybe basketball, soccer, or volleyball, we also have amazing varsity teams that you can look into joining. At the University of Calgary, the varsity teams are called the DINOS, and they compete with different teams from different institutions all across the country. And you can see the different sports that we have varsity teams for on the slide there. But if this is an aspect that you're interested in, maybe you are really interested in team sports, especially on a competitive level, I would encourage you all to go online to godinos.com and reach out to the coach for the sport that you're interested in, and to inquire about eligibility and to ask when tryouts are, as the whole process of joining a team does go through the coach, but they would be happy to answer any questions that you have. So definitely have a look at our website regarding the different teams we have, as well as what the rosters are currently. But if you're like me and you like keeping active on a more kind of relaxed way, either by yourself or with some friends, there are also many ways for you to do so on campus. Access to all of the amenities that you see on the slide there is included within your school fees. So you don't have to worry about paying every time you want to go to the school gym, which is the fitness center, or every time you want to go swimming at the aquatic center, or every time you want to go skating at the Olympic Oval, as all you will have to do is present your university card. But for example, if you wanted to go away into the beautiful Rocky Mountains, maybe you want to try skiing or snowboarding or canoeing, You can also rent equipment from our outdoor center, which is the largest of its kind in North America. Being able to rent equipment from the outdoor center is very beneficial, especially for international students such as all of you, as there could be a lot of sports that you haven't tried before and you do just want to dabble in it. Maybe you're not sure it will be something that you would really want to commit to. The outdoor center will allow you to rent equipment for the day just to try and without having to fully commit in buying the full-fledged equipment that is needed. And speaking from experience, equipment can get quite expensive, especially if it's snowboards or skis. So just being able to try all those sports without making the commitment will be very beneficial and help you in trying different activities throughout your time here, as there's a lot of different activities you can do out in the mountains throughout the 4 different seasons throughout the year here. And it can also the renting equipment can also save you the headache of finding a place to store all of your equipment, especially if you are staying on campus as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of opportunities for you to keep active on campus. Outside of attending classes, we do encourage students to maximize their university experience and stay connected and be one with the campus community, whether it is through school clubs, staying on residence, just keeping active, or adventuring around campus or around the city with your friends as well. Throughout your university experience, we do try our best in kind of encouraging students to maximize their time at the University of Calgary and to kind of think beyond studying and just attending classes. And part of that is that we are here to support you every step of the way through all of the different aspects of your studies. And part of that is that we provide a lot of student support services for you as well. As you can see, we do have a lot of support services available for students like you, as we do recognize that university will be this brand new step in your life, a brand new journey. And although it is exciting, it can also come with a lot of challenges and worries as well. And that's why we are always working towards increasing our support services on campus to make sure that students like you are feeling supported and we are able to help you through any difficulties that you may experience during your time with us. As you can see, there's a lot of different supports available on campus, but 2 that I want to highlight the most, just based off of my personal experience, are the Student Success Center as well as Career Services. The Student Success Center is really here to help you succeed academically, and whether it is through writing support, academic advising, or peer-led student study sessions. I myself, during my first and second year of my studies, I struggled a little bit in my academics because university classes are completely different from high school, just the size, the coursework, just the deliverables are different as well. And this is when I signed up for the peer-led study sessions. And these sessions are actually led by students that have completed the class in the past. So you can ensure that you are learning from students that know exactly what they are doing because they have succeeded in the class. And they can also offer some tips and tricks as well. Not only that, on the other hand, is career services. And although it is a little bit early for you to start thinking about your life after graduating, I do want to highlight that we have amazing career services to help you ease the stress that comes with job hunting after graduating. And this can take the form of interview workshops, resume support, or one-on-one career advising. Not only do we try our best in supporting you throughout your studies at the University of Calgary, we are also here to help you in kickstarting your life after graduating within the career that you wish to pursue. For international students, one service that I do want to highlight the most is international student services. As an international student, Calgary will be this brand new city, and as university is already this huge journey, coming all the way here from a different country can be a very exciting as well as very intimidating experience in itself as well. For international student services is really here to help you build your own campus community and help you become more familiar with this new environment. And part of that is they help organize these different activities for you to meet other students from different countries all around the world, a lot from your own as well. And these activities can range from trips to popular destinations such as Banff, Lake Louise, or Drumheller, to weekly or monthly hangouts for you to just become more familiar with the students around you. And these can take the form of maybe ice skating during the winter months, movie nights, and currently due to COVID, there's also a lot of Zoom hangouts as well for those students that are more comfortable with the digital environment. So definitely our International Student Services is really here to help you with anything and everything that comes with being international student. And they also offer immigration advising as well. If you are looking to apply for a study permit, they can kind of help guide you throughout that process and help you organize any documents that are needed to support the application. On the opposite side of coming to Calgary from a different country around the world is going from Calgary to a different country from studying, working, or volunteering abroad. We do have plenty of opportunities for you to take your studies and move them to a different country. And this is super beneficial as you'll be able to pay UCalgary tuition and fees, but your classroom will just be global and entirely different. For example, during my studies, I spent 2 months volunteering in Taiwan and 1 month studying abroad in Japan. And both of these opportunities really did provide me with unforgettable memories, and they allowed me to travel without prolonging my degree. So super beneficial because there's not a single person that I know of that doesn't like to travel, and you'll be able to see the world, travel to different countries without prolonging your degree, as many students tend to believe that by traveling, they will be taking a period of time from the studies, but that's completely not true, as you'll be able to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You don't have to just study abroad, as we have a lot of working, internship, as well as research opportunities abroad as well. But outside of global experience, we also have many opportunities for you to gain some professional experience through work integrated learning opportunities. Depending on the faculty that you are deciding to apply for, these opportunities could take the form of consulting projects, co-op placements, internship placements, practicums, or more. This way, you do not actually have to wait until graduating to know what it's like to work in the field that you're interested in. And this would also give you a chance to see whether the career path that you're pursuing is the right one for you. I do want to highlight that a lot of our opportunities are paid with competitive salaries to make sure that students like you are being well compensated for the work that you are doing. So again, another amazing opportunity to gain some professional experience to kind of kickstart your resume and your career after graduating. Before I get into the more specifics here, I do want to encourage you all to have a look at some of the upcoming events we have lined up for prospective students such as you all, as well as look into signing up for a campus tour. These would be great ways to kind of have a deeper look into what the University of Calgary experience looks like and what your time here as a student could look like as well. Our colleague for our campus tour does a great tour around campus digitally right now due to COVID for all of you that are from abroad. And he walks you through each of the buildings that you could potentially be having your classes in, all the key spots, the study spots on campus. So definitely a great way to have a sneak peek into the University of Calgary. Now to just dive into the more specifics here. University of Calgary definitely has a lot of programs and a lot of faculties for you to choose from. We do have these 8 main faculties for undergraduate studies here. I myself graduated from the Haskayne School of Business with a concentration in international business. But throughout my studies, I was able to meet a lot of different students from these different faculties by being able to take courses completely different from my business background. One course that I like to highlight because it was my favorite course during my studies is Japanese video games. And this is a senior option course for me. And I was able to meet students from all of these different faculties that share the same interest as me in Japanese video games. So definitely you'll be able to really meet different students throughout your studies outside of your specific faculty. And this slide here and the next few slides here just includes a complete list of different programs offered at the University of Calgary. We have over 250 different programs and combinations for you to combine any degrees, for you to complete any minor programs as well. For the interest of time, I won't be listing each of the various programs here, but I'll be giving a brief overview of each of the faculties, but I do welcome you all to have a look at our Explore Programs page that Alexis has provided, just to have a deeper look into the programs offered at the University of Calgary. And each program does have its own program page as well, for you just to have a deeper look into the specific program that you may be interested in, such as career prospects and admission requirements. So we do have the Faculty of Arts, which is the largest faculty here at the University of Calgary, with different bachelors depending on the area that you're interested in. We have the Haskayne School of Business, the faculty I personally graduated from, home to a lot of co-op opportunities and case competitions. We have the Faculty of Science, a lot of research opportunities, as well as different science-related concentrations you could think into studying. And the Cummings School of Medicine, which houses our Bachelor of Health Sciences, which is honors-only program. And a lot of students that want to become a doctor, they tend to navigate towards our Bachelor of Health Sciences, but I like to highlight that our Cummings School of Medicine does not have a pre-med program, but a solid foundation for future studies in medicine, along with our Faculty of Science, if that is what you're interested in. We have the Faculty of Nursing, which is one of the top nursing programs in the entire country. We have the Workman School of Education, which has a variety of pathways for you to choose from depending on the kind of teacher you wish to become. We had the SCHLICH School of Engineering, home to, again, a lot of different engineering concentrations and research opportunities, as well as amazing technologies you can utilize throughout your studies under the SCHLICH School of Engineering. And lastly, we have the Faculty of Kinesiology, which is #1 in North America. So as you can see, there's a lot of different programs for you to choose from and for you to think about. And I would really encourage you all to have a look at our view book or our Explore Programs page for more information specific to the fields that you're interested in. But after you have had a look at the different programs offered at the University of Calgary, or maybe you have a few that you're interested in already, your next step would be looking at the admission requirements for a specific program, just to make sure that you'll be admitted into your desired program. Some information about admissions here is that admission is competitive and is based on 5 faculty-specific grade 12 high school subjects. So each program does have 5 specific courses that you must have completed within your last year of your secondary studies, and it will be different depending on the faculty that you wish to be enrolled into. And we use those 5 courses to calculate your competitive admission average, and your average must meet the competitive average of the program that you wish to study as well. So a good way to think about the admission requirements is 3 key points. First, you must have completed the required courses for your desired program. Second is to meet the competitive admission average of your program. And lastly, all students must demonstrate English language proficiency. And there are 3 ways for you to meet this requirement, and they are either completing 3 years of studies with English as the primary language of instruction in the Canadian, British, or American curriculum. Second is to complete one of these English language tests, and I like to highlight that currently we are accepting Duolingo, which could prove to be a more cost-effective as well as a quick way to obtain English test results. But lastly, we have the academic communication certificate if you are looking for a more extensive way to increase your English language in a classroom setting. This aspect can be a little bit tricky because you may not know what you are eligible for or whether this requirement can be met with your education. So I would encourage you to reach out to me with my contact information at the end with any questions regarding admission requirements or English language requirement if you have any questions. But just to give you guys an example of the admission requirements for different programs here, if you're interested in computer science, the 5 courses that we'll be looking to see that you have completed are English, mathematics, 2 sciences, as well as 1 other course. And your competitive admission average, which is calculated using those 5 courses there, must be in the high 80s range in order to be competitive for the program. This is just computer science, and it will look different if you're interested in arts or engineering, but just to give you a brief example into what to expect. But after you had a look at the admission requirements and you are en route to completing the different required courses as well as meeting the admission average, your next step would, of course, be to apply to attend the University of Calgary here. For international students, application fee is $145 because of those extra international credentials. We have an amazing team of international admission officers who will be able to review your international documents for you, so you won't have to reach out to any third-party agencies or organizations. And when you apply, you will be able to apply for 2 programs, a first choice as well as a second choice program. I would recommend for your first choice to be the program you wish to study the most, maybe the one that has higher academic requirements, and for your second program, again, to be one that you're interested in, but maybe has lower admission requirements in case that you are not admitted into your first choice. This is because if you're not admissible into your first choice program, we would automatically assess you for your second choice program. And of course, really important in terms of applying here, application for our fall 2022 term that begins September of next year has already opened. And I welcome you all here to submit an application early on in the application cycle. And Alexis here has posted a application link onto the chat box there. It is always better to start early than to start late, and I would encourage you all to apply early to get a head start in the entire application and admission process, as it can get quite lengthy. But after you have submitted an application online directly through our website, this slide here shows you a step-by-step process of what to expect afterwards in the coming months here. After you submit an application, you will gain access to your student center where you can directly upload all of the documents that are needed to support an evaluation for your application. We all give all students a to-do list directly on your student center, listing all the different documents that we will need, and you can directly upload all of your documents onto the to-do list as well. It is important that you apply early in order to gain access to your student center early as well, as it is the home to everything you will need as a student at the University of Calgary, whether it is applying for classes, keeping track of your application, applying for awards, and etc. Although the deadline to upload documents is not until March 15th of next year, it is important that you try your best to upload all of your documents earlier on, as an evaluation cannot actually be conducted until all of your documents have been successfully submitted and received. So just to give kind of some advice or recommendation, I would recommend applying in the next couple of months here before the end of the year. So you can provide any documents or transcripts that you currently have. And then when January or February rolls around, you'll be able to submit any updated transcripts that consist of this semester's grades. So definitely, I would encourage you all to apply early just to keep an eye on any of these deadlines throughout the entire process. And some common documents that we will request include high school transcripts and proof of English language proficiency. But course outlines may also be requested if our admissions team wants a deeper look into the courses that you have previously completed. After you have submitted all of your documents and have afterwards you have this time, you're waiting for a decision, I would encourage you all to kind of dive a little bit deeper and look into the different aspects of your studies here. And one could be tuition. As you can see, on the slide there is an estimation of the tuition depending on your citizenship status, as well as fees, books, supplies, and residence options. A great way for you to estimate the cost of your first year of your studies would be through the cost estimator by going online, scanning the QR code, and I believe Alexis has also pasted on the chat as well. And so it could give you a breakdown of the cost of your first year studies, depending on the faculty that you are enrolling into, as well as what you are selecting in terms of residence, whether you're living on campus or off campus. I understand that some international students do hold Canadian citizenships as well. So there's definitely a lot of different aspects that goes towards estimating your tuition. But I do want to highlight that University of Calgary is more cost friendly compared to other institutions around the country. And we are always looking into different ways we can maximize your university experience with these funds, whether it is improving study areas within on campus, increasing the resources available to all of you. So definitely it could look like a huge chunk of money right now, but I promise you that not only is our university super cost-friendly comparison to other institutions, but our city, as well as all province as a whole as well, has a relatively lower cost of living. So you'll definitely get more value for your money here. But as I mentioned, as you're waiting for a decision to be made, I would encourage you all to apply for different awards available for incoming high school students. We do have 3 types of awards available. First is Prestige Awards, which is our highest value scholarships. You can apply directly through your student center for Prestige Awards, but the application will consist of some short answer essay questions for us just to get to know you a little bit better. And because the application evaluation process for Prestige Awards is a little bit longer, the deadline to apply is much earlier, being December 1st of this year. So again, just to keep all those deadlines in mind as you start applying here. But next is High School Entrance Awards, valued at $500 to $10,000. With one application through your student center again. The application is very simple, a series of yes or no questions, but with one application, you'll be assessed for over 100 different high school entrance awards, depending on the information that you have provided. The deadline for high school entrance awards is March 1st, which is also the deadline for applications as well. So when March 1st comes around, it'll be a deadline to apply for the high school entrance awards, as well as the deadline to make any changes on your program regarding program choices. But lastly, we have automatic awards. This award type does not have an application that you have to fill out, and it is automatically awarded based off of a calculated admission average. So definitely another kind of motivation to apply early and to submit all your documents early is that we'll be able to assess you for automatic awards earlier on as well to see whether your admission average meets the threshold for automatic awards. I would like to highlight that you do not actually need to wait for a decision to be made on your application before you can apply for awards. So definitely you can start applying for awards the day or two after submitting application for admissions. Just to conclude here, here is a list of different important dates coming up for our fall 2022 academic year. As mentioned, applications have already opened and they will close March 1st of next year. But another deadline coming up here is December 1st for Prestige Awards if you are looking to maximize all of the awards available for high school students. It is important that you remain ahead of all of these deadlines, especially if you are looking to apply for a study permit, as the study permit process can be quite lengthy as well. And we want to make sure that you leave enough time, buffer room to apply for a study permit in time for starting your studies here at the University of Calgary. Before I end things off here, I do encourage you all to keep in touch with me by joining my mailing list and filling out my contact form, as it will help me keep an eye on your application, as well as share some resources, as well as updated information about your institution with you as well. But with that, thank you all for joining me today for this webinar for prospective students in Asia. And I hope you all found this session to be beneficial and helpful in kickstarting your journey with us and was able to answer any questions or doubts that you have. I am happy to stay connected with you. In fact, I encourage you all to reach out to me at email at asia.recruit@ucalgary.ca or via WhatsApp, or have a look at our various social media channels as well, as a great way to kind of have some sneak peeks into the student life at the University of Calgary. As a student recruitment advisor, I'm really here to support you every step of the way throughout the application and admissions process, and I'm always excited to meet with students one-on-one as well. If you're looking for a more personalized session, maybe you have some more specific questions you want answered, definitely I am happy to meet with all of you. And with that, thank you all for joining today. And regarding questions, I trust that Alexis has been great in answering any questions that you may have. But if you have any additional questions, we do have a little bit of time here remaining for you to ask any questions, shoot them into the chat box, and either myself or Alexis will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Is there a deadline for early action? I am assuming that you're referring to early admission. Deadline per se, I would say by the end of the year, by December. If you have all of your documents in before December 1st, we can evaluate you based off of your grade 11 grades, as well as 4 of the required courses. There's no necessary deadline per se, as early admission is a process rather than a deadline. For early admission, we would review you based off of your grade 11 grades for 4 of the required courses to see whether you can be admitted using your grade 11 grades. But if not, we would then wait for your grade 12 grades to evaluate you on the standard evaluation basis. So we kind of conduct different types of evaluations throughout the timeline or throughout the application process. And in order to kind of remain ahead of the entire process, to make sure that you are being able to be evaluated using those 2 options, I would encourage you to apply before the end of the year and submit your documents before the end of the year, before your grade 12 grades are available, just to see whether you can be admitted using your grade 11 grades. But if not, we will definitely reevaluate you based off of your grade 12 grades as well. So I will just give a few more minutes here for any of you who has some last minute questions. Maybe they're just buffering or steeping in your mind to concoct any new questions. Yes, I do encourage you all to apply. Alexis has pasted again the application link. Applications have opened, and it's definitely always better to apply early, not just for like timeline's sake, but also for study permits, as well as any awards that you're looking to apply for, especially with the Prestige Award deadline coming up fairly soon in December. It is definitely encouraged for you to apply as early as possible. But if you don't have any questions right now, I do encourage you to reach out to me later on if any questions do pop up. But I do thank all of you here for joining me today for this session, and I look forward and welcome you all as University of Calgary students in the future. For now, goodbye everybody. Have a great day. Have a great night.